Welcome to the Ken Harbaugh Show. In a moment, I'm going to play one of the most moving videos I've ever shared on this show. It's about a father and husband from Lviv, Ukraine, pleading with Americans to pay attention to what's happening in his country. Many of you know that I've traveled to Ukraine several times to document the atrocities committed by Russia's military and to witness the incredible resilience of the Ukrainian people. I truly believe that we are living through a 1939 moment when the fate of the world rests on what happens in a tiny corner of it. Because Ukraine is not only fighting for its own survival, it is defending the values of freedom and democracy for all of us. If we abandon Ukraine, the conflict won't stop there. It will spread to Poland, the Baltics, and beyond. It will embolden tyrants to threaten other democracies like Taiwan that already live under the shadow of oppression. I believe that if enough Americans grasp what is at stake, and if they truly understand the depths of Russia's cruelty, then we will stand with Ukraine. This is what Russia's war on Ukraine looks like. It's a village near the front lines, and they all look like this after Russian forces pass through. Ruins, ash, and devastation. Russia's approach to warfare is medieval. It's scorched earth. Wherever they go, they leave behind ruin. When they plant mines in farmers' fields, it's not for any tactical purpose like stopping Ukrainian counterattacks. It's terrorism. It's about paralyzing civilians and making the land itself unusable. It's the modern equivalent of salting the earth. And yet the resilience of the Ukrainian people is breathtaking. This is a parking lot beside a gas station near another village filled with the remnants of a Russian attack. But this, believe it or not, is a sign of recovery as residents collect all of the spent rockets and shells and start to rebuild their village and their lives amidst the wreckage. People often ask me why I go to Ukraine. Part of it is that I recognize that we are living through an historic time. And if we don't meet the moment, the whole world, for generations to come, will suffer. But there's another reason, a more personal reason. There's this feeling you get, and it is almost impossible to describe, when you're surrounded by heroes. Ordinary people, most of them doing extraordinary things because they have to. They're not movie heroes manufactured and tested by focus groups. They're real, and they are everywhere in Ukraine. Like this tank crew, which held off wave after wave of Russian assaults. Before the war, these men were farmers and mechanics. Or this drone hunting team in Kherson defending their city from Russian attacks with a .50 caliber machine gun mounted on the back of a pickup truck. These crews are the number one target of Russian drones, yet every day when the alert sounds, they leave cover to defend their city. Then there's this leader of a volunteer air defense team. His call sign is Judge because he's a sitting justice on Ukraine's Supreme Court. On the first day of the invasion, he grabbed an AK-47 from the police armory, rallied other judges, and headed to the front lines to stop the Russian advance. Now, in his spare time at night, he commands a gun crew that serves as Kyiv's last line of defense against Russian drone attacks. This is what the night sky over a Ukrainian city looks like during one of these attacks, filled with tracer fire and rockets trying to take down the attacking missiles and drones. A lot of people here in the U.S. ask me, why does Ukraine keep fighting? They have no choice. They know better than anyone what life under Russian occupation means. It means the torture of their loved ones, villages reduced to rubble, terror raining down from the skies, and tragedies like that experienced by Yaroslav Baslevich. Yaroslav lived in Lviv, far from the front lines, just 43 miles from the Polish border, until September 4th when a Russian missile strike hit his apartment. The attack killed his wife and 3 children. I was asked to share this interview with Yaroslav, which he gave just 16 days after he lost his entire family. It's raw, it's heartbreaking, and I am asking you not to look away.
Russia launches an average of 93 ballistic missiles and Iranian drones at Ukrainian cities every day. Russia's missiles target residential areas. On average, 42 Ukrainian civilians are killed or wounded every day, many of them children.
Тільки це щось на круг полить. Перекись, она будет...
This is one family story. Lviv, western Ukraine, 55 miles from the Polish border. The Bazilevich family lived in Lviv, hundreds of miles from the front lines. Eugenia, 43, taught yoga, was learning French, designed jewelry, and made her own perfumes. Yarina, 21, enjoyed skiing, traveling, and rock climbing, and volunteered to help burn victims. Daria, 18, earned a scholarship to a local Catholic university. This is a Christmas message she recorded for her scholarship benefactors.
Dear benefactors, Christ is born, glorify Him. My name is Daria Bazilevich. I'm studying in the first year of a cultural studies program at the Ukrainian Catholic University, and I really wanted to wish you a happy Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.
Amelia, 7, played the piano and loved music. She was the star of the family, always trying to outsing her sisters.
Amelia is my youngest daughter. She had a good ear for music and played the piano. She went to music school.
Amelia's 8th birthday was 2 weeks away.
We had a stairwell at the entrance, in which we always hid. At the moment when the first explosion sounded, the girls were very scared because it was quite close. They ran down the stairs to the stairwell.
Yaroslav, the father, was still in their apartment when Eugenia took the girls downstairs for safety. He was on the phone with his wife when a Russian missile hit his family.
Eugenia called me on the phone, and at that moment, there was an explosion. My phone was ripped from me. I lost my orientation and my vision in one eye. Then I had the hope that some kind of dome had formed there, that they were safe. That's all I can say.
The Russian missile that killed the girls and their mother was a new hypersonic variant launched from deep inside Russia, over 600 miles away. In all, 12 ballistic missiles hit Lviv's residential areas that day, along with 24 Iranian drones. Multiple homes were hit, along with 7 schools. 7 people died, with 66 injured, including 10 children.
I miss them. I don't know how I will live without them. When I realize I don't have children anymore, it just tears me apart.
Ukraine is fighting back. It has destroyed 1/3 of Russia's Black Sea Fleet, 2/3 of its tanks, and has captured more territory in Russia in 1 month in 2024 than Russia captured in Ukraine in an entire year.
I'm still hoping to win. I hope that at least those sacrifices will not be in vain.
For more than 2 years, U.S. policy completely prohibited Ukraine from using American weapons to strike the bases deep inside Russia that were launching attacks like the ones that killed the Bazalevich girls and their mother. The U.S. still heavily restricts Ukrainian strikes inside Russia, including those designed to protect Ukrainian civilians.
The world needs to see what Russia is doing in Ukraine. This interview with Yaroslav Bazalevich does not come close to conveying the full weight of his loss and of Russia's cruelty. Here's the Russian representative at the UN laughing about the tragedy as the Ukrainian representative addresses Russian atrocities.
Atrocities committed in Ukraine. Russia has written the future textbooks for historians, human rights defenders, and lawyers worldwide who will study the evil in its modern manifestation.
Have you heard about senolytics yet? It's a class of ingredients discovered less than 10 years ago, and they're being called one of the biggest discoveries of our time for promoting healthy aging. Let's be honest, the aging process is not our friend when it comes to energy and productivity. I'm feeling a lot more aches and pains these days because as we age, everyone accumulates senescent cells in their body. These cause symptoms of aging like aches and discomfort, slow workout recoveries, sluggish mental and physical energy associated with that middle age feeling, also known as zombie cells. These cells are old and worn out and not serving a useful function for our health anymore, but they are taking up space and nutrients from our healthy cells. Much like pruning the yellowing and dead leaves off a plant, Qualia Senolytic removes those worn out senescent cells to allow the rest of them to thrive in the body. Just take it 2 days a month. The formula is non-GMO, vegan, gluten-free, and the ingredients are meant to complement one another, factoring in the combined effect of all ingredients together. It has a 100-day money-back guarantee, resist aging at the cellular level. Try Qualia Senolytic. Go to qualialife.com/Ken for up to 50% off and use code KEN at checkout for an additional 15% off. For your convenience, Qualia Senolytic is also available at select GNC locations near you. That's QUALIA life.com/Ken for an extra 15% off your purchase. Thanks to Qualia for sponsoring today's episode. It's Ken Harbaugh. Quick break here to let you know that we'd love to hear from you. Your comments, suggestions, thoughts about future topics and guests. Email us at info@thekenharbaughshow.com and make sure to rate and review us on iTunes or wherever you get your podcasts. Thanks, and back to the show. The callousness is palpable, and it gets worse. Right after I agreed to share this interview, I got an urgent message that Yaroslav had taken his own life. He hadn't, but because his story has become such a prominent example of Russia's brutality, Russian trolls started spreading that rumor to further torment him, as if killing his entire family wasn't enough. This is cruelty for cruelty's sake. It's the Russian way of war. Striking civilian apartment complexes in places like Lviv serves no tactical purpose. It's pure terror. But I've spoken with Yaroslav. He wants us to know that Americans can make a difference. The missile attack that killed his family represents humanity at its worst, but I've also seen humanity at its best in Ukraine. Ordinary people fighting back, defying terror. It's not just the soldiers at the front or the drone hunters being hunted themselves. Sometimes It's a father and a husband who finds the courage to speak out about what happened to his family just days after losing every one of them, so the world will know the truth. That, too, is heroism. If you want to know what you can do, click on the link to the video below, follow the Ukraine Freedom Project channel, and share Yaroslav's story wherever, however you can. This community here on the Midas Touch Network has come through so many times when I've asked for help. I'm asking again. Please share Yaroslav's story. The world needs to know. Thank you.
Love this video? Make sure you stay up to date on the latest breaking news and all things Midas by signing up to the Midas Touch newsletter at MidasTouch.com/newsletter.